Hi, I'm here.
Hello. We were just whinging about you being late.
Oh, well, you know how it is, right? It's kind of normal.
Yeah, it's perfectly normal. That was what we were whinging about.
I gotta go tell everybody. Hold on a second. I gotta actually let everybody know what's going on. I put out a video that said come over in an hour, but I should probably just annoy everyone with a bunch of at everyone's. So at everyone, the
Okay, fair
weekly
enough.
sip is live. Give me a second here. I'll post it on Twitter too.
Okay, that's cool. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So,
And it,
how's it going?
it's going fantastic. Thank you for turning up to shitpost with me for a while, Dev.
Yeah, no problem. It's been a
Yeah,
while. A year or
it has
two.
been.
Yeah.
Um, I think the last time we streamed together was the follow-up interview for Exploring the Politosphere, which was ages ago.
A couple of years, yeah.
Yeah.
Does everyone have their coffee? Wait, do you have your tea? I mean, you're a Brit Bong, so you have to have tea.
I drink neither, so I am going to disappoint everyone with
What? What kind of a
Pepsi
Brit
Max.
Bonger doesn't drink tea?
One who actually has taste buds, Dev. Uh,
You don't like tea?
no, not at all.
That's
It's leaf water with milk and sugar in it,
that's honestly very surprising, actually.
and I
Mm.
don't drink coffee because I know if I start drinking it, I'll
Oh,
stop.
listen, it's really good.
I'm
I'm
sure it is, but that's exactly.
I'm very okay. No, oh God, I'm very coffee right now, and I don't mean the drink. I mean I'm coughing a lot. I don't have the coof
You
though.
don't.
I've already had it twice. I had back in April 2020. I had coof one, coof original,
The
and then
coof one.
in October I had the Delta variant. So but people who say that the coof isn't real seem to be like retarded, but it's not that bad. Most people will
I
survive
th-
that shit.
I think I got Coof 2, um, Delta Boogaloo, a few months ago, but it literally was just like a bad cold.
Oh, you didn't? Did you get tested?
Uh, no, but I didn't get any. I got symptoms not that I don't normally get when I get a cold or a flu,
Yeah.
and like including like shortness of breath, which means it was attacking my lungs, which it doesn't never happens to me when I get the flu.
Right. Right. I mean, I got tested and it was confirmed. So that's. I mean, oh God, it is sometimes hard to support those who are against the current establishment when they say such ridiculous things as COVID doesn't exist. And it's like, come the fuck on. How much tinfoil do you have to be wearing to actually believe that? Like you can wonder about vaccines. You can complain about lockdowns because that's completely reasonable. But like COVID doesn't exist seems to be a ridiculous position to hold. At least I think so.
See, here's the thing. I have only just recently got my first shot because I was holding out for a while to see about, like long term effects and whatnot.
Yeah.
But then they started basically because I'm a student and also I work in a industry tangentially connected to the NHS. I was basically being pressured on all angles, so I eventually just had to concede. Otherwise, I would have likely lost my job and been stuck studying at home for another term. So,
Another 5 years.
so it so I was like, might as well. And it's so I only just recently got the first jab, but it's fine. Like, um, I don't necessarily have a problem with vaccines in general. I did feel there was a bit to be said about it being rushed through trials and whatnot,
Yeah.
and um, so I got it recently, and it's been fine thus far. The worst that I got was that my muscle was stiff.
Yeah. See, for me, what ended up happening was Like I was considering getting it, but I was also waiting for the trials to be done, and I think they finished up like this past summer, right? I was like, okay, they seem to be like safe enough. All right, fine. The trials are over. Nothing's really been uncovered. Nothing too crazy. Fine. And so the plan was, because I work from home and everybody else who lives with me in this house, they don't. The idea would be that I they would just get their shots first, and I would take care of them if something bad happened. And then once everyone else was immunized, then I would get it. So everyone got their shots, and then when it came time for me to get mine, the Ontario government announced the vaccine passport. And I was just like, well, I'm not going to fucking comply with this. This is ridiculous. So now, and honestly, now that I've had COVID, I don't really care. I've had the Delta variant. I really don't care. Like, there's natural immunity. Natural immunity is real. So now I'm just like, I'm not going to lend any of my own personal legitimacy, however little that might be, to a vaccine passport that I fundamentally don't agree with. So now I'm just not going to get it. Fuck it.
Yeah, I could totally understand that. Political jargon for $10. Thank you very much. Fan of Dev. I don't have much to give, but here's some for a good cause. Thank you very much. Um,
Oh,
Anyway,
I forgot to ask. What's the cause?
Cancer Research UK.
What is that?
It's a charity to research cures for cancer.
Oh, oh, you said cancer research. I thought you said Council Research UK, and I was like, what?
No, Cancer Research UK.
All right. Oh. So, have you talked about what happened at the start of your show yet?
What do you mean?
Well, I know Aiden was supposed to be on. She messaged me and she told me. Did she tell you what's going on? Why she didn't? Why she was late?
Yeah, wasn't it to do with something to do with her family?
Yeah, it was a family thing that came up. So she
Yeah.
she sends her apologies.
No, that's fine. I told her. I told her I was less annoyed that she didn't turn up, and I was more annoyed the fact that this is the second time in a row she hasn't turned up. But I basically just told her that it was fine and not to worry about it.
She's a really nice person, but I know that she has a tendency to like worry if people hate her. I've noticed.
Yeah, she's a lovely lass, but she's just. But I was a little bit salty at first, but then I just decided because fuck it.
Yeah.
Like it's not worth getting salty about. It's a 12-hour stream, and we managed to get through the first topic with just with the guests we had, so it wasn't a bother.
Yeah, fair enough. Jesus. Maybe I've got Omicron. I'm just gonna get all the COVIDs.
Oh, you dying?
Kinda. I don't know why. Actually, you know what it is? It's where I live. The climate, the specific climate in this like one location in Canada, is just dry. It's very, very dry in the winter. And you don't have this in the UK because it's just a difference. We get cold enough here in the winter in Canada that water can no longer evaporate. So it just freezes. Water so in the winter you'll have no clouds and the sky is always sunny and blue, but it's like minus 60 degrees Celsius out, and the air is extremely dry. So you're just constantly coughing and phlegming and like everything is just dry. Jesus, it's awful.
For the most part here, it's like -2 in the middle of the night, and it's like right now it's 4 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, I'm not worried about global warming in the slightest because Jesus, it's so cold here. I wouldn't mind a little bit.
The thing is with the UK is that where it is in terms of latitude, it should be a lot colder than it is. But we also get, because of specifically where we sit on the planet, we get warm air currents from the south, which heat up the country all year round.
Yeah.
So we're like we're like a good maybe 5-10 degrees hotter than we should be.
Well, the west coast of Canada gets the same thing because of the ocean, warm currents. So Vancouver right now is like our early summer. I'm just freezing. It's like, all right, thanks. But it's kind of interesting though, because I'm far enough north that there's not much snow. It's all just ice. We have sheets of ice that come down rather than snow. the only person who knows what I'm talking about whenever I talk about this with people is Arch, because he's in Norway. They have the same thing.
Fucking, I don't get how you can live. Like, if you went much further north, you'd be living a fucking man.
Well, when I did live further north, there were tunnels underneath some sidewalks that allowed you to get to certain parts in the city really easily without having to expose yourself to the air. And that's just how they do it when you go far north, I guess.
That's actually pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool infrastructure. I'd like to see that at some point.
Unfortunately, it was built with taxation, pal.
Fucking don't go there. We're not having that conversation today. Fucking don't go there. I'm gonna kill him with laughter, and then I win the argument by default.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I'm pulling from. I'm pulling from the Jeremy Corbyn Book of Victories.
Hey, didn't he come out as based recently? Was he being like anti-vax or anti-vaccine passport?
No, that was his brother Piers Corbyn.
Oh, what's his deal?
He's basically he. Do you know how all the lefty revolutionary LARPers like hate anyone who's actually a revolutionary because it reveals their LARP?
Sometimes I have seen people like Castro though.
Yeah,
who was a revolutionary.
Basically, Piers Corbyn is the actual revolutionary to the LARP revolutionary that is Jeremy Corbyn.
Okay. So when he's out there talking about like burning down the houses of MPs or something, like
he's out there saying we need to burn down the houses of MPs. We can't put up with this anymore. In response to like COVID lockdowns and stuff. He actually got arrested today as well
for saying that.
Yeah, because it's considered. I think they said it's considered cause to violence.
Damn. I mean, I guess it is technically if you think about it.
Yeah, he's basically he is the actual revolutionary to the Jeremy Corbyn's LARP revolutionary.
All right, but he's coming at it from a left wing perspective, I guess. I'm assuming.
Yeah, he's a lefty revolutionary, but he's like. He's slightly more acceptable than the American progressive because he's kind of an old school lefty English, old school English lefty, like this sort of George Orwell type lefty.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many Weekly Sips you've watched over the years. I've done quite a bit of them, but the basic idea of the show. Fuck. The basic idea of the show is I usually shitpost just talking with the chat and talking with people for about half an hour. And then I do I do articles and I go over a series of articles. It's usually a random number from a random time period. The idea is over the course of a week, I will research for various video topics. And I'll store them up and I'll store them away. And I might not make those videos that week, but I'll at least store up the sources that I collect. However, when I find an article that is interesting enough to be talked about, but does not actually fit into any kind of larger video, I put that aside. And those ones that I've collected for the week, I do on the Weekly Sip. That's the process of how I do this show.
Right. Okay. I need a method of seeing the things, so you can either send me them, or you can screen share, and I'll screen feed on Streamlabs.
I should be able to screen share with you. Let's see how it works. Let's see. Can I 720? Oh, geez, I can't do 1080. God damn it. Let's go. If I hit go live. There it is.
Let's fucking go.
So there it is. Can you see that?
Right, hold on. I'll screen feed. There we are.
You'll pipe it in?
Yeah, now they should be able to see it.
Wait, why is Mitch saying ew dev?
Fucking, because Mitch is being a silly boy, and he always is.
Isn't he oh, the guy who had the one like grossed out Pepe avatar, and he had to say that he's not cringe political opinions?
Yeah, that was his name for a while. Not cringe political boasts. It's- he's a good boy. I like Mitch, but
Yeah, I've talked to him once.
yeah, he does love to take the piss. So does so to speak.
Jeremy Corbyn actually voted against Boris's Plan B restrictions. Jesus.
Yeah,
What a weird situation you guys are finding yourself in.
the thing is, you'll find that is not a principled opposition. That is a opposition based in that is an opposition based in attempts at gaining popularity.
Yeah.
Because the socialist wing of the Labour Party are on the defense right now because Keir Starmer took over from Jeremy Corbyn, and I wouldn't say he's entirely a Blairite, but he leans more action.
You're cutting out a bit for me, jeez.
I was just saying he's more of a Blair, like Keir Starmer's taken over the Labour Party, and he's closer to a Blairite than he is to a Momentum guy. Like sort of, he's not from the socialist wing of the Labour Party,
Right, right.
and so the socialist wing of the Labour Party will just go against the whatever the Blairites do, and the Blairites seem to be supporting the Tories from lockdown stuff.
Yeah. So, I've collected my articles, and here they are. I think you'll like this first one.
Right.
Because it'll probably tickle that ANCAP funny bone of yours. So let's read it here. These parents built a school app. Then the city called the cops.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Fuck you.
The official
Let people
app
homeschool their kids.
Oh, no, that's not what it was. The official app was a disaster, so knowledgeable parents built an open source alternative.
Oh, I see.
So,
I like this.
okay. So, Christian Langren's patience was running out. Every day, the separated father of three was wasting precious time trying to get the city of Stockholm's official school system to work properly. Landgren would dig through endless convoluted menus to find out what his children were doing at school. If working out what his children needed in their gym kit was a hassle, then working out how to report them as sick was a nightmare. I have done a big sip, Tidge. You missed it. Here, I'll do one for you right now. Hold on. It's good stuff, man. Oh, yeah. Start drinking coffee. It's good for you. Okay. 2 years after its launch in August 2018, the Skoll platform had become a constant thorn in the side of thousands of parents across Sweden's capital city. Commissioned in 2013, the system was intended to make the lives of up to 500,000 children, teachers, and parents in Stockholm easier, acting as the technical backbone for all things education, from registering attendance to keeping a record of grades. The platform is a complex system made up of 3 different parts, containing 18 individual modules that are maintained by 5 external companies. The sprawling system is used by 600 preschools and 177 schools, with separate logins for every teacher, student, and parent. The only problem is that it doesn't work.
Yeah. It was a huge red flag when they said 5 different companies. This tells me that this is an app that's been made by committee, and anything made by committee tends to be shit. Yep. Generally, you need a singular coherent vision, and you can delegate the creation of that vision to different people, but it needs to be a singular vision.
Mm-hmm.
Video games actually have that problem quite a lot as well, with like a game being pulled in 1,001 different, ending up as like none of it, and ends up not fulfilling any of.
You keep cutting out for me, man. Do you have like an auto closer on your mic?
I don't think so.
If you let's see if you, there's a way to set up in Discord. See user settings, voice and video, and then you'll have automatically determine input sensitivity. If you turn that down a bit, it might be a bit better.
Hold on. Sorry, what? Where was it again?
So user settings,
Yeah,
then voice and video,
yeah.
and then it says input sensitivity, and it says automatically determine input sensitivity. And there's a bar you can slide. Because what it sounds like is at the end of your sentences, when your voice goes a little bit quieter, it's cutting it off.
Wait. So does it? It's so. If I am I dragging it upwards or downwards?
It's left or right.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Left or right? Am I dragging it left or right?
If you go left,
Hmm.
and then that should actually lower the noise floor, so it shouldn't cut you off.
Right. Okay. Is that better?
It seems like it. Yes, you already
Okay.
haven't cut off once.
Right. That's decent. Fair enough.
So to continue on, the Skull platform has cost more than 1 billion Swedish krona, $117 million, and it's failed to match the initial ambition. Parents and teachers have complained about the complexity of the system. The launch was delayed, there have been reports of project mismanagement, and it has been labeled an IT disaster. The Android version of the app has an average 1.2 star rating. Oof, that sounds awful. Just give me a second here.
I love democracy. I don't, but you know.
Okay, let me just keep reading. Because this is a long article. We don't got to read all of it. I just kind of have the certain bits.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Langdren, he's a developer and the CEO of a Swedish innovation consulting firm. He has a hat which was emblazoned with the words "Scrota Skull Platform," loosely translated as "Trash the School Platform." He joked that he should wear the hat when he picks his children up from school. Weeks later, wearing the hat, he decided to take matters into his own hands. From my own frustration, I just decided to create my own app. Oh, he's just going for it. He wrote to city officials asking to see Skull Platform's API documents. While waiting for a response, he logged into his account and tried to work out whether the system could be reverse engineered. In just a few hours, he had created something that worked. I had
Absolutely based in innovation pilled.
I had information on my screen from the school platform. Then I started building an API on top of their lousy API. The work started at the end of November 2020, just days after Stockholm's Board of Education was hit with a 4 million fine for serious shortcomings in the app. Sweden's data regulator had found serious flaws in the platform that exposed the data of hundreds of thousands of parents, children, and teachers.
Fuck.
People's personal information could be accessed from Google searches.
That's what I'm saying. This school system just doxed a bunch of people. Fuck me, man. Oh
So-
my god, the incompetence.
In the weeks that followed, Langdren teamed up with fellow developers and parents, and they hatched a plan. They would create an open source version of the Skull platform and release it as an app. Building on Langdren's earlier work, they opened up Chrome's developer tools, logged into the Skull platform, and wrote down all of the URLs and payloads. They took the code, which called the platform's private API, and built packages so it could run on a phone, essentially creating a layer on top of the existing glitchy Skull platform. The result was the OPNA Skull platform, or Open School Platform. It was released on February 12th, 2021. All of its code is published under an open source license on GitHub. Anyone can take and use the code, with very few limitations on what can be done with it, what they can do with it. If the city wanted to use the code, they could. But rather than welcome it with open arms, city officials reacted with indignation. Even before the app was released, the city government warned Langdren that it might be illegal.
How is it illegal to make an open source app?
Probably because it's using like school information or something. It's just gonna be governments mad that a private citizen did something better. That's what the story is basically.
Well, that's what I mean. It is basically just state mad that state got proven incompetent.
Hmm. So in the 8 months that followed, the city of Stockholm attempted to derail and shut down the app. It warned parents to stop using the app and alleged that it might be illegally accessing people's personal information. Officials reported the app to data protection authorities, and Langren claims tweaked the official system's underlying code to stop the app from operating at all. Then in April, the city announced it was getting the police involved. Officials claimed the app and its co-founders may have committed a criminal data breach and asked cybercrime investigators to look into how the app worked. The move took Langren, who had been meeting with city officials to address concerns about the app, by surprise.
Well, this is basically just like going. This feels very like very by the numbers state action. Just don't question us, and we'll stout and we'll like. They're trying to make an example of this bloke because he showed them up.
Yeah, basically, like their solution sucked. He made one that's better, and they don't like that. That's all it is. So the Opna School platform is not a complicated app. While the official school platform is built for everyone involved in education in the Swedish capital, its open source alternative is just for parents. The €1 app has been downloaded around 12,500 times on iPhone and Android with an average 4.2 star rating, and it only shows basic information. Parents
That's
log
actually
in. Oh,
You
sorry.
said I was going to say 12,500 downloads for like like an education app. That's pretty good
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. Parents log in using the Swedish digital identity system Bank ID. That already sounds fucking awful right there. I didn't know the Swedes had that, but okay. But the Bank ID is also used by the Skull platform. They can then see information about their children that's pulled into the app through the Skull platform API. The app shows school calendars and events such as music concerts, a daily schedule for pupils, notifications from teachers that link out to grades and news updates, food that's being served in cafeterias, and an option to report children that are sick. Everything that we display is open and public information. He explains that when the students' grades are shown, they are displayed through an in-app browser where the app can't access any data. So basically, they built an app that took the data from the other app that was glitchy as fuck and made it actually work. And that's why they're complaining. They're complaining because they did something better. Yeah.
It really this just really gets on my last nerve because it treats it's treating private citizens like they're criminals just because they had the nerve to innovate on like build upon what the state was doing, not even directly go against the state, just build upon what the state had done and make it better.
Yep. Exactly.
It's doing it not even using state funds either. They did it like under their own time.
Yep.
It's fucking this is just it's peak pettiness, and it really gets on my libertarian hackles.
I knew this would be the greatest, the great article to start with you. So
It just
the city of Stockholm was unsure about the Opera Skull platform from the beginning. We do not have open API, so they made their own solution. It may be illegal because people's personal data is involved. And even though Helen Mossberg, who is the deputy head of digitization and IT at the city's education division, what claimed to be generally positive about the app, she still said that a rigorous investigation was being launched. In mid-February, a Swedish security firm completed an external audit of the app, and the report was not published. And then three weeks later, at the end of February, the city said it was making security updates to the Skull platform to stop any potential personal data from being accessed, effectively shutting down Opna Skull platform's home-brewed API. This began a tug-of-war between the two sides. The Skull platform would be updated. Opna Skull platform would respond with its own updates. In March, Opna Skull platform was apparently updated 7 times to avoid sabotage from the city. which continued to change its underlying systems. So it doesn't sound like the city is actually fixing any of the problems with the app. This has been going for like 2 years at this point. But when it
No,
comes
they're not
time
sure
to when it comes time to stop this competitive app, they're updating it like crazy.
Well, that's what I mean. They're not trying to. They're doing this out of spite. It's pettiness. They're doing it. They would rather the app be actively worse to use as long as a private citizen wasn't the one to make it.
Yep.
Do not pretend to tell me that the state cares about you.
In early April, the city asked the developers to unpublish their source code from GitHub. On April 15th, the Education Administration announced it had completed its investigation into the parent-developed system and had concerns about how the app handled data. The city then reported the developers and OpenSkull platform into the police, saying that it believed a data breach had occurred. They wrote the police report in a way that was supposed to look scary. That says Langdon. In the following weeks, cybercrime investigators came to his house and interviewed him about the open source app, a process that Langdon says caused him to doubt the work the team had done. You have to make a decision at that point on what you're trying to do. He ultimately decided to keep working on the project along with an expanding team as they believed it was the right thing to do. As the dispute was unfolding, OpenSkull platform continued growing in popularity, including a swell in the number of people involved in its development. So now they have 40 people working on this app because it's so popular, and apparently it's at least kind of financially solvent. Probably not for all 40 of them, but people want this, basically. The volunteers have found and squashed bugs, developed a search feature, and translated the app into different languages. They also raised potential security issues with the official app, even as the city worked against them. All right.
I know you're trying to sue us. I know you're trying to sue us out of existence and possibly get me arrested. But here's why your app is shit.
Yep. So, but it seems like in the end, they won because OpenSkull platformer had to wait months to be cleared. We do not believe anything criminal has been committed, said the leader of the police's preliminary investigation. And the data regulator in Sweden did not open an investigation into the city's complaint. So it seems like the city lost this one, at least so far.
Based.
However, things changed in September. Langdon was traveling to his brother's wedding in France when he got a phone call. The city was changing. Actually, no. This is when it got better. The city was changing its position on OpenSkull platform and any other app seeking to do similar things, and decided to let others access the data within its systems. To do so, the city struck a deal with an external provider that will be able to set up licenses between OpenSkull platform and the city. So now, the city can guarantee that private data is handled in a correct and secure way, while parents can take part in the market's digital tools in their everyday lives. See, I have a feeling that governments would just generally be better off if they allow this kind of economic activity to happen and just be like, listen, you can just pay us a cut and we won't fucking bother you. Better than like fighting their own populace, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it basically, if they allow the populace to get involved in the streamlining of state activity, not only will it save them time, it will save them money.
Yep.
And it will avoid a lot of the complications that come with government bureaucracy and inefficiency. Like, here's the thing. I am a pragmatist. I might be an anarcho-capitalist, but if a state is going to exist, I want that state to be as streamlined and efficient and cost-effective as possible. So I think this is ultimately, like, as an achievable political goal, this is probably an incredibly good thing.
Yeah.
And something that should be emulated elsewhere.
I mean, at the end of the article, Langdon says that all officials should make their APIs open source so citizens can build technology that works for them. If you build the API, the app will come. And, like, I can understand the security complaint. That's reasonable. You don't want, people getting a hold of your child's schedule or something. Like, yeah, fair enough. But I also understand the other side of it, too, There's a reasonable conversation to have here that isn't just shut it down.
But to be fair, the original state built one was doxing people, so they don't really have a leg to stand on security.
That's true. Like they were also failing at it, but just because they were failing at it, that doesn't mean that it's also not a legitimate question to ask. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose, but at the same, I'm just saying that being a part of the state apparatus does not exempt you from
That kind of
and
incompetence, yes.
not from not just that incompetence, but also from being a security threat yourself.
Right, right. So that's pretty much the end of that story. I knew you would enjoy that one.
I did, so thank you very much.
Okay, what's the next one? Oh, you guys are gonna love this. You guys are going to love this. Do you remember Thirsty Sword Lesbians?
I don't, but elaborate, please.
I covered it on the show a couple months ago. It was a tabletop RPG rule set that was only for lesbians. If you weren't a lesbian, you couldn't play. And of course, they have all the things like fascists can't play this game. You know what I mean, right? Like you know what I'm talking about. You know the kind of thing I'm talking about. Well, they are now
woke tabletop.
yes. So they have announced their woke first expansion. They're now kickstarting Advanced Lovers and Lesbians. Draw your sword and bare your heart with new character types, fresh settings, and even more ways to enjoy Thirsty Sword Lesbians. This Kickstarter received $97,000.
How? Why? Why does this exist? Oh, it makes me angry just looking at it. No, because look, why would people waste 100 grand on something like this? Like, look.
Okay, let me read it. Okay. Draw your sword and bare your heart with this new print supplement for Thirsty Sword Lesbians. 10 new character playbooks, 4 adventures, 20 plus settings, and a toolbox full of inspirational mechanics that will take your game to the next level. And Advanced Lovers and Lesbians. Wow. Dude, do you see this image? Can I make it bigger? Hold on.
That's gross. Like, that's legitimately gross. I looking at it, it's some of it's fine. Like the art isn't bad, but freaking I don't know. It just a lot of the characters just seem to be drawn to be so deliberately off-putting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. Like,
well, it's made by the company Gay Spaceship Games, and if I zoom in enough, can you see this? Right there. Actually, hold on. I'll need to pull up. Just give me a second. Okay, so the original Thirsty Sword Lesbians had official artwork of this, and there it is. And yeah, the characters are pretty ugly. However, what's interesting is that they are clearly and obviously aping the design of a reasonably obscure 1990s anime called Revolutionary Girl Utena, and I'll show you what I mean. Nobody fucking watches Revolutionary Girl Utena anymore. That was like made in '96. Okay,
that's what I'm saying. I've heard of Utena.
Right. So here's Utena. Okay, hold on. Can I get a better picture than that? Come on, internet. Okay. Here's Utena. It's clearly the same kind of design, but the characters are significantly more appealing.
I'm not seeing it, bud. I think you're gonna need to zoom. No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think you need to zoom out, bud.
Zoom out. This is okay. Hold on. Can I? That's just yeah. What do you mean?
I'm not seeing this picture of Revolutionary Girl Utena.
Oh, you're not. I wonder why. No. Hold on. Why isn't it? You know, it's not giving you the.
It's only. I think it's only
it's
sharing.
Only showing
one
window. Okay, hold on. If I did this.
Yeah, that's good. That's better.
Okay. So
yeah, I can see
this is the Thirsty Sword Lesbians art box art. Okay.
Right.
And this is the Utena art.
Oh, see, that actually looks good and appealing.
And the thing is, by today's standards, Utena is a reasonably left-leaning anime. Like it wears its feminism on its sleeve. Like if you wanted to point out what is a feminist anime, it would be this show for sure. However, however, it's still actually very good because the characters are well developed and there's like an actual full story arc and they go through troubles. The main hero loses fights and has to come back. Like it's not just all Mary Sue bullshit. It's you can have good feminist or even socialist or any brand of left-leaning storytelling. You can still have that, but I think there's a reason we haven't seen it in about 20 years.
Let's take something like let's take something a lot more Western and live action, like Law and Order, for example.
Mm-hmm.
If you listen to any political discussion on the show Law and Order, the side that always wins out is always left leaning.
Right.
It's always the like the sort of like bog standard Democrat position because it's set in New York, so. But the show is still good in spite of that because it's well written.
Yes. It just seems to be rare nowadays to have things that are well written. it doesn't exist anymore. In any case,
I think all the creative talent of the 21st century was just poured into the Lord of the Rings movies, and now we're having to sit through a 100-year darkness of no talent because it was all went into those movies.
Are you eating something? I kind of hear. Are you chowing down?
Not really.
Oh, are you drinking? Do you have a slurp for us?
Yeah, I'm chugging.
Okay, that's what it is.
Ugh.
So this is coming out. If you're interested, I keep bothering Arch and Sargon to say, listen, we have to play a game of Thirsty Sword Lesbians. We have to play a game of this shit. It would be fucking hilarious.
See, here's the thing, though. Arch would probably go for it. Sargon, I know he's busy these days, but I think if Sargon got a spare 5 minutes, I'm sure he'd be down for it.
Actually, Arch is the one who said no. He did not want to play Thirsty Sword.
Well, to be fair, he's very serious about his tabletop.
Right. Okay, let's go on to the next thing I've got here. Andrew Garfield talks Spider-Man. Money is the thing that has corrupted all of us and led to the terrible ecological collapse that we are all about to die under.
Shut the fuck up, Spider-Man.
How is this about Spider-Man?
Yeah, like, I didn't realize Spider-Man was a socialist. An eco-socialist at that.
I just don't understand. He's asked about his newest, because he's in the newest Spider-Man movie. So hey, Mr. Andrew Garfield, how do you feel about your new Spider-Man movie? And this is what he gives us as an answer. What the fuck?
They almost feel like automatons at this point.
Yes.
No matter what question you give them, it has to relate to woke talking points. And to the point where it's so ingrained in their head that they just can't deviate from it anymore. I don't know. I almost feel sorry for them for how NPC they have become.
Let's see what he actually said. Oh, this is why he spoke to The Guardian. Okay. So speaking to The Guardian, Andrew Garfield briefly touched
so much sense.
upon his time playing Peter Parker in Sony's second cinematic take on the Marvel character for The Amazing Spider-Man and its sequel. Relieved to not have to dance around being asked whether or not he'd be back for the third reboot at the studio, Garfield seemingly relished in the frank honesty of what it was like to be catapulted into a character as monumental as Peter Parker. I got my heart broken a little bit. I went from being a naive boy to growing up, Garfield said as he reflected back to being cast as the new Spider-Man in 2010. How could I ever imagine it was going to be a pure experience? There are millions of dollars at stake, and that's what guides the ship. It was a big awakening, and it hurt. Wow. Jeez.
What? So he's whinging about that movies cost money, and they are expected to do well.
Yeah, and that he got paid. So
fucking
He
Grow the
says,
fuck up, you man child.
he says, Comic Con in San Diego is full of grown men and women still in touch with that pure thing the character meant to them. But you add in market forces and test groups, and suddenly the focus is less on the soul of it and more on ensuring we make as much money as possible. And I find that heartbreaking in all matters of culture. Money is the thing that has corrupted all of us, and led to the terrible ecological collapse that we are all about to die under. And it's like, holy fuck, dude, I think you'll be fine living in Hollywood. Well, actually, no, that's probably gonna go underwater, but you'll have enough money to leave. Don't worry about it.
No, but it almost sounds like, I don't know. It almost sounds like he's a child who watched Spider Man, thought Spider Man was real, but then went to watch the movie being filmed and realized it's all fake.
Yes. Now he has a point. There's definitely been a trend of just soulless cash-ins on behalf of Disney and Marvel and Star Wars. There's been some really shitty movies that are clearly this just there to swindle fans and run away. Like that happens. But I have a feeling.
Don't get me wrong, those exist, and in fact, a large proportion of the like sort of comic skate or whatever is I say whinging. That's being a bit unfair, but it's complaining about that.
Yeah. But he then links it to the terrible ecological collapse that we are all about to die under. Man.
Okay, Lefty Doomer.
Yeah, like just like the vaccine conversation earlier. I'm not going to be one of those people who is like climate change doesn't exist, because it does exist. But like, I think it'll be fine, dude. I think human ingenuity will invent some cool new thing that will solve whatever problems that we have, and it'll be okay. We are not going to, like, the planet's not going to turn into a bowl of molten lava. It'll be okay, guys. Like, stop thinking like you're going to be living in fucking Fallout. It's fine. We're not going down that road.
The two big problems with climate change are cutting down trees and plastic in the ocean. Those are the two big ones.
Yes.
Now, plastic in the ocean is already being solved by market forces as we speak. Because there are already being technologies developed to eat, like micro technologies being developed to eat plastic. And second of all, the trees, we've had methods of sustainable tree growth since the Roman Empire.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't new. This isn't new information. We don't like. It's not some big revelation on how to cut down trees without killing them.
The problem is that China and Russia, and to a lesser extent India, don't care. And when you have those three, like America and Canada and the UK and Europe can do whatever it wants, but if you have those guys not giving a shit, you're not going to solve the problem. You can't point the fingers at us.
Well, ultimately, India, I think it's just a case of they are still in their industrialization phase. So
yes.
They will come round over time. Russia will need a regime change, but I think that's something that will occur naturally because they're not a totalitarian regime. They're more of an oligarchy. Authoritarian, certainly, but not totalitarian.
Yep.
And I don't think China will last the next 50 years, so...
Yeah, China will destroy itself at this rate. Everyone's like, China, you got to confront China. Well, yeah, we do got to confront China, but also China's already on a downhill path of its own making,
It's kind of like whenever someone says, "Oh, a country's going to take over America as the next number one economy," like there always seems to be some underlying thing that people are ignoring. Like with Japan, it was the fact that Japan, it was the fact that in order to fuel their economic prosperity in the 80s, they were taking on huge amounts of debt. And in China, it's the fact that their entire economy is based on being the factory of the world, and if that gets taken away, they'll just collapse under their own weight.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I guess it's time to go on to the next article because I don't think there's anything more worthwhile in this. It's long and it's really fucking stupid. But like that,
Alright,
that
so
was it. Yeah, that was.
So it's just him whinging. Okay,
yes,
fair enough.
Yeah. Okay, I forget what this one is. What is this? Oh yeah, check this out. This is on a subreddit about trans pets. Okay. My male dog doesn't lift his leg to pee. Is he trans? My dog has already hit the 2 years of age mark and still pees like a female or a pup. Should I make an appointment with a trans-friendly vet for gender reassignment?
Right. Let me make one thing. Let me make one thing abundantly clear.
Yeah?
You cannot have a trans dog. Trans is a very specific is being trans is caused by a very specific mental state that is exclusive, as far as we know, to humans.
Hold on.
You cannot have a trans dog.
Okay, that's because you're gonna like this one. Yeah, this is r/trans pets.
Oh, just kill me! Just kill me!
Okay.
Kill me now!
How to stop my cat from being aggressive while dilating? So my cat Julie had her gender reassignment surgery 3 days ago. The surgeon said that her neovagina needs to be dilated 3 times a day, 10 minutes each, but she isn't liking it. How can I help her? My hands are full of wounds because of her claws and teeth. I wanted to get her declawed, but claws or nails are an essential part of being a woman or a female cat. So
you've cut a male cat's bollocks off, and now you're pouring fucking fluids onto its wound, and you're expecting it not to hurt.
It's not just that. The surgeon built a cat neovagina that needs to be dilated with like I guess what do they use? It's kind of like a dildo. It's like a rod that holds the wound open.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is that something tells me this is not a Veterinarians Association approved.
Probably not.
So it's very likely that wound really fucking hurts for that cat.
Yes, I'm hoping this is like a troll sub. Like holy fuck.
No, I see. I really hope as well, because as funny as it is, at the same time, this boils my piss. Because I really hate, like, needless to say, I hate animal abuse, but I really hate animal abuse.
Yeah. Yeah, this is ridiculous. Okay, this one. All right. Are you guys ready for the latest TikTok dance? Here, you're not going to be able to hear it. Okay?
Right.
So
okay.
I'll post it in the chat. Here it is, and you can pull it up yourself. And then on 3, we'll play it, okay?
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
I'm dreaming of a masked Christmas. Pick that shit up over your nose.
You can't even sing.
Where the anti-maskers.
Oh, fuck you.
And there's no political division to get our COVID count so low. Oh,
Stop ruining my Christmas, you bitch. This is my favourite time of year, and you will not spoil it.
Don't wanna see no chin diapers in here. Seriously, on the mouth and the nose. Or get out! Come on! It's not that hard.
That's it. Oh God!
I would like to say a couple of things. First of all, we could hear it through the video.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And no, it's like, and second of all, which is good because it wouldn't play on my end. And second of all, that's ruined my day. Thank you.
So
I love Christmas, and that has thoroughly corrupted the image of Christmas.
I am proud to say I have only worn a mask once, and I found it reasonable when I did because I was going into a hospital. And it's like, okay, yeah, fair enough, you know? Honestly, we probably should have been doing that before the pandemic anyway, because it's a hospital. It's a different situation. But I don't wear them to go to stores or anything. I certainly don't wear them just walking outside of my house. Fuck that. Fuck all the COVID theater. Fuck it. I'm never.
Right. It is a legal requirement in our country to wear them on the bus, which is only recent. That only came in a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
It is technically legal to wear it. It is technically, you do technically have to wear it in certain venues, but nobody enforces it because people are sick to death.
Yep.
Yeah, I only wear it at work because it's a legal part of my requirement at work because I work in an industry tangentially related to the NHS.
See, here, it kind of exists in a gray area because it makes sense to me that if a store owner wants you to wear a mask in their shop, they can tell you to leave if you don't. That's their property. It's their right. It's their business. It's their house. You got to do what they say. Fair enough. But like, the government will not arrest you if you don't wear a mask in a store, but they sometimes fine the store for not telling you to do so, but the store is not empowered to make you do so. It's like no one wants to actually be holding the hot potato of responsibility on this, so they've left it as vague as possible. You know what I mean?
Mitch for $2.65. Thank you very much. Physically remove those mask speakers and animal troons, so to speak.
Jesus. Okay,
fucking
so
Hopper posting in my fucking chat.
All right, check out. We're not going to read these articles, but I just wanted to go over the juxtaposition here. All right, they're both from the same thing. They're both from Yahoo. Okay, you got Joe Rogan, who's not a doctor, gives terrible vaccine advice. There's the headline. Okay.
All right.
Oops, I accidentally clicked off of it like an idiot. Okay. Joe Rogan, who's not a doctor, gives terrible vaccine advice. Podcaster Joe Rogan, who has no public health expertise, told his listeners that healthy young adults have no need to get a vaccine. That's probably kind of true. However, the headline and the way that they're framing this is like they had to put in who's not a doctor. Okay, so also from Yahoo, you have 5 things Bill Gates wants you to know about COVID-19 variants. Couldn't you say 5 things Bill Gates, who's not a doctor? Like, there's obvious bias here.
Here's the thing. Joe Rogan is a podcaster. Bill Gates is their lord and master.
Ah, yes.
He is one of the certain British right-wing YouTube circles would call the managerial elite.
Yes. So, have you seen that picture of Bill Gates drinking shit water?
No.
Okay, so a few years ago, Bill Gates was heavily promoting a machine that turned shit into drinkable water. And the water looked completely fine. And it was probably like, when it comes down to the actual molecules involved, it probably was just regular water. But he takes it, and he takes a big swig of it, and he's like, that's delicious. And it's like, holy fuck, dude.
It's like, at best, it's water. It's not delicious. It's just water.
Yes.
At worst, you're actively trying to deceive people into drinking shit-tasting water.
Yep. Okay. What is this? Oh god, this is from Undead Scribe. What did Poe send me today? Oh yeah, this. Okay. This is a trans person who's Japanese. Does anyone want my own egg wine? It's about 100 milliliters. Only wine, but not the eggs. Okay. This person cut off their own testicles and then fermented those testicles and made wine out of it.
Look, I'm all for trans rights, right?
Oh, I know how much you're into them, buddy.
I'm all for trans rights, but at the same time, can some of you just stop being such fucking degenerates, please? Like, can you just like? I feel like the mother in the car in the Babadook. Just why can't you just be normal?
Oh god, like you got like women who like cook with their period blood, or they make like like vagina yeast bread or whatever the fuck. It all like, why the fuck are people doing this? Why?
Because they're not okay. Like, gender dysphoria is the least of their worries.
Man, and you know what? Like this is not a phenomenon. It's like it's not exclusive to these types of people. Now, we've seen a lot of it from these types of people in the past decade or so. But I recall when I was growing up hearing about and this is out of more traditional communities, about women who would eat placentas, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Who? Why? Who the fuck wants to eat a childbirth placenta? And it's like, well, it's like a natural thing, dude. It's like, shut the fuck up. I don't wanna. I don't want to do any of this. It all just sounds awful. Oh, hold on a second. I think my headphones just died. Uh-oh. Hey, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, they came back. I can hear you. Great. All right. when recycling goes wrong. Oh, okay. Hold on. In the chat, Millie, the weekly sip is a lot better without the Minecraft server. BS. Dude, I advertised the server at the start of the sip for like 30 seconds. Does that bother you that much? All right. Okay. So,
Minecrafting.
yes. Only surveillance can save us from the coronavirus. You must have seen this headline around, right?
Look,
Big
here's-
data.
here's a-
Oh, yes.
Look, here's all I'm gonna say.
Uh,
Anyone who supports this, if the revolution does end up happening, if the Boogaloo comes along, I will not mourn your death.
okay. So, only surveillance can save us from coronavirus. Big data offers tools to stop the pandemic right now if we change our definition of privacy. Look at this. Look at this fucking guy's phone. What is this? 16 different COVID apps? One of them's called Coronavirus Sus. Fuck. Okay. In those parts of the world under lockdown, people have discovered a renewed appreciation for the internet and the resources it offers. Books, movies, music, endless news content, and the tools to communicate with friends and family. Imagine the lockdown without the internet. It's not a comforting thought. Well, that would just be like renting games from, the local Blockbuster or whatever and just staying inside. So,
To be honest, that's making me a tad nostalgic. I could go for that right now.
yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
fucking get some pizza, some ice cream, play some GameCube or something. Oh, takes me back.
To be fair, it was N64 for me. I'm a little bit older. N64 was my big rental time.
I rented a lot when I was young because by the time I got to my teenage years, Blockbuster had largely died out.
Yep.
But it was GameCube for me because again, I was a bit younger than when you rented, but also I didn't really have a choice because renting would largely died out by the early 2010s.
This is a shame, man, because now you just got to pay like fucking $90 in Canadian money to get a new game. Fuck.
Like here's the thing. It's also the fact that, like, not to get us too far off topic, but also like it's the fact that it's largely been replaced by stuff like Xbox Game Pass, and Game Pass is worth it on the face of it, but also at the same time it's like renting was good because it was specific. You could go and rent the specific game that you wanted. You weren't just getting like paying a monthly fee to like get like a different selection of games filtered in and out every month.
Yep.
Like, with the possibility that none of them interest you.
Yeah, when I was growing up, it was $3 a night. So you get a game, you have it for a full 24-hour period. It costs $3, $6 if you go for the whole weekend. Man.
Stay up all night, eat some sweets, eat some pizza, complete the game overnight, take it home, take it back the next day.
Yep. Yep. All right. So let's go through here. The internet's system of surveillance has been perfected beyond our imaginations and usually beyond our acknowledgement. It now extends over email, social media, credit card payments, cell phone use, and travel records. Every flight and hotel booking, every payment and bank transfer, every call, every picture can be brought together in a single platform and mined for interesting or unusual patterns. Yet, while extending in every direction, the system was completely powerless to warn us about the coronavirus to help us fight it. That is about to change, and our concept of personal privacy will have to change with it. That sounds fucking awful, and fuck you.
Yeah, like no, it's not happening. I will throw away my phone, and I will throw away my phone, and I will give up technology before I allow the state to track me using my devices.
So
I will go offline before that happens.
I have a Galaxy S2. Any of you remember that phone? The Galaxy S2? What is it, 2010?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason I haven't just mindlessly updated is because it still works. I can here's what I don't use data or anything when I'm out. Here's what I use my phone for. I occasionally call my parents, and I occasionally text some people, and that's it. I never use data. I never really use its other features. Oh yeah, I have like an exercise app on it that I only occasionally use 'cause I'm fat. But the point is, I don't need a super powerful phone. I don't, and also I'm not even sure if my phone would work with the coronavirus scanning app that's currently being enforced in Ontario. So, like, my Facebook, I have one picture on my Facebook because they require you to have an avatar, and the picture is of Dr. Robotnik's face, and it's been the same picture since 2008. Like I work on the internet. I have the YouTube channel, and I stream on Twitch and all this stuff. But when it comes to me personally, I live a very low tech life, and I kind of prefer it that way. I kind of prefer it that
Short Fat Otaku is very tech savvy, but Devon,
Hey,
not like he's not. He is a good Mormon boy, not Mormon, Amish boy. He's a good Amish boy. He is a good Amish boy, and he does no wrong.
It's funny because, like, I'd say most of the time I go out of the house without my phone. Like, if I want to listen to music, sometimes I'll bring it, but I also have like an old MP3 player from like 2006 that still works, so it's like whatever, I don't care. But the point being is that to my parents, who are boomers, they're older than me, they chastise me every time I leave the house without my phone, because sometimes they'll call me, I'm not there, they're like, where were you? Oh, I didn't have my phone when I went out. They're like, why don't you have your phone with you when you go out? And it's like, well, fucking, you spent most of your life without doing that shit. Why does it matter now?
It's like I never needed it.
Yes.
I hardly ever need it. Like, fucking leave me alone.
Yeah, and I like the occasional feeling of, because I live like 10 minutes away from a forest, I like the occasional feeling of just going into the woods and being disconnected from everybody else and just kind of having an hour or two to myself. You know? Naomi and I will go for a walk. You know, it just no connections. You don't need to be connected or jacked in all the fucking time.
I know that feeling. I grew up in an area of the south of England called the New Forest in Hampshire. Mm-hmm. And literally having the forest on your doorstep, it's such a blessing. It really is.
Man, people don't understand how big and how wild Canada truly is. Like, there is, unless you're in like Vancouver or Halifax or Montreal or Toronto or Ottawa, if you're anywhere else, or Calgary, if you're anywhere else, you are an hour's worth of forest away from anything else outside of your town. This is a wild, isolated country. There's just tons of mountains, tons of forests, tons of rivers and lakes. Like, there is no most Canadians live in a place where they can just go off the grid in about 15 minutes. It's quite nice.
Before So before the 20th century, freaking Canada was basically just IRL Skyrim.
Yeah, pretty much. There's like nobody fucking here, man. Like, okay, people talk about native civilizations, and you know they weren't as primitive as people said. Especially if you get down to like Central America, they had like empires and they had feudal systems and stuff. So it's okay, fair enough. But like the natives that lived here before Europeans showed up, they they only barely existed because it was so fucking hard to live here. It was so cold. So even now that's reflected. Like if you're outside of a big city, like there's some truly off the grid areas here. It's actually nice. It's quite nice.
Indeed.
So
Right.
yeah, we can move on because like this is just a bunch of stuff. Oh, you want me to pay for your bullshit? Fuck you.
Right.
This-
Before we do that, I'm gonna
Okay.
read some super chats.
Oh, okay.
Because we got quite a few while we were talking,
Oh shit. All
and
right.
I don't want people to feel neglected.
All right.
$1 from Mitch, just saying Troon.
All right.
And Mr. Personality for $14.88. Don't think I don't know what you're doing when you write that. Cannibalism with extra steps. I'm not sure what that's in context to, but okay.
Neither do I. What did we talk about previously? Oh, the testicle wine.
Oh right, okay, yeah, pretty much.
Listen.
I'll-
Would you drink the testicle wine?
How much would you be willing to pay me to do it?
What if it was from a hot trap?
Still, how much would you pay? The hotness of the trap is irrelevant. It's still bollocks it's still fermented bollocks.
Oh wait, hold on. Does bollocks mean balls?
Yeah.
Oh, I always thought it meant. I thought it meant ass cheeks.
It's no, it's why you get it's getting kicked in the bollocks. Means getting kicked in the balls.
Oh, okay. No. See, I don't really know British slang. I always thought it meant your butt.
No, it's your balls.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's like the how hot the trap is immaterial to the fact that it's still fermented bollocks. Right, shall we move on?
There's a guy in the chat who said he's from Thunder Bay. I went to school in Thunder Bay. I went to university there. What a fucking isolated. Oh my god, what an isolated shithole Thunder Bay is. Okay, Thunder Bay is a reasonably big city, and it's surrounded by like 6 hours of forest in all directions. There's nothing there. It's just wild wilderness. It's man, and also
Is this why when you and Dave, I was about to say your friend, like I don't know his name. Like is this why you and Dave, whenever you talk about your hometown, you talk about it like it's like some middle America buttfuck nowhere town, because it actually is.
It actually is, yes. And also, unfortunately, it's been overrun by heroin since we moved away. It is not the idyllic place it was when we grew up. It's a shame. But at least,
Is that because of deindustrialization or?
Actually, no, because the towns, it's one of those single industry towns, but that industry hasn't died. It's forestry. Like there's no mines to be shut down. There's no factories to be shut down. It's a paper mill, and so that it's been going now, and it's probably going to keep going for a long time because Canada has tons of trees. But no, it's just that like a lot of people who couldn't leave and couldn't get jobs at the mill because it's really the only place you can work in the town, they just ended up getting on drugs because they didn't have anything else. And yeah,
right.
oh, sorry.
So is it a case of like, is it a case of like a scarcity of like jobs in the town?
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And yeah, you can walk out into the forest in the summer and just find random junkies living in the woods.
Oh.
Yes, I went to Lakehead University. I got, you know what? I got my minor in gender studies at Lakehead University.
Yeah, you've mentioned that on the stream before.
That's how I know about a lot of this shit. I still have my old textbooks. Okay, so I have like 40 minutes, right? We should probably get through these articles. Let's see. All right, what's this? Blaine police investigating after Instacart shopper allegedly drives over an elderly couple's groceries. Jesus. That why would you do that? Why would you drive over, like, if you work for Instacart and you buy an elderly couple's groceries, why would you drive over it after? Let's see.
Um,
An Instacart shopper drove over their groceries last week, possibly in response to a pro-law enforcement sign in their front yard. Oh, so they had like a Blue Lives Matter, like a thin blue line kind of sign in their front yard. So this person delivers their groceries and destroys them. Wow. Okay. Um.
Well, like,
Yeah.
it's just like, oh yeah, that's totally a way. Like, it's not even necessarily about conducting yourself or having a anti-cop opinion that winds me up. It's just like, this is only going to be detrimental to you in the long run. Like, yeah, you destroyed their groceries, so they can buy you more. Is it worth really losing your job over?
Yeah. So, according to a news release, the couple had placed an order for delivery on the morning of December 6th. Once the driver arrived at their home, the couple went outside to meet the driver. The driver yelled for them to check the inside of their Christmas wreath, where they found a receipt with a derogatory message written on it. It says that Instacart doesn't pay their employees, find another slave, fuck the police, racist pigs, and the groceries themselves were destroyed and left in the driveway. Oh my god. Wow.
Wait, so this wasn't even because of them?
No, it was. It's just that this person who works for Instacart just didn't care. They feel like they're not getting paid enough, and they saw the thin blue line sign in their front yard, so they destroyed the groceries and wrote on their Christmas wreath. And they wrote, "Find another slave, fuck the police, racist pigs." And it's like, Jesus. Oh my god. Wow. So they've identified the worker, a 36-year-old from Coon Rapids, and that charges are in the near future. She is not cooperating with us, if you can believe that. They're gonna add disorderly conduct charges and criminal damage to property. And a GoFundMe has been raising $7,000 for the old couple, so that's nice.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
Yeah. You know what? This is actually missing a part of the story. This is a different article than the one that I had planned to show. So just give me a second. Give me just a moment, okay? Listen to those taps, those clickety clacks. Here it is. All right. Found it. Cuz part of the article was supposed to talk about who the person was, who this 36-year-old driver was for Instacart. But it wasn't in there. So I just quickly found it. And here's what it is. If you can see it.
Millywig in chat is asking what's Instacart before we move on.
Instacart is do you know what Instacart is?
No. It's
Oh,
not
really?
in this country.
Okay, so Instacart is a company that there's an app, and you put in your grocery list on the app. And they have workers who will go out to a store and buy the food and then deliver it to you. And then they charge you for the delivery, and they charge you for the food. So the idea is, if you can't leave your house but you have to go grocery shopping, you can get an Instacart order.
Oh no, a lot. We don't have anything like that, mainly because we do actually have something like that. It's called Ocado, and we mostly don't have any competitors to Ocado, mainly because most grocery stores have their own delivery services
Right.
direct to your door.
Yeah, that's not
So-
common here. So apps have kind of filled the void. And
Alright.
we also have similar ones for food delivery, like Grubhub and stuff like that, where if you want to have food from a restaurant that doesn't delivered to you, you can go to there's Skip the Dishes. I think that's Canadian only. There's Grubhub, and what's the other one? Shit, Uber Eats is one of them. There's one more at least.
We have Uber Eats and Just Eat. Those are the two big ones here.
Right. Okay. So Instacart is just a grocery delivery service, basically. But here we go. Find another slave. Find another slave, racist. Fuck the police, pigs. And here's the person This individual
Oh.
with purple hair named Tara.
How very surprising.
Yeah. I wonder if she might have a political slant. There might be a reason why she destroyed this elderly couple's groceries.
Couldn't possibly tell.
In any case, she's facing a 90-day jail sentence and fines.
Good fucker. I'm good fuck.
Yep. Okay, so what's this? Oh, check this out. You're gonna like this. Okay, listen to this. Okay, 10-year-old boy steals parents' car to visit his grandparents, who are 68 miles away, and then he tells the police he's a dwarf who has forgotten his license.
Absolute madman.
He drove his parents' car into a snowy ditch, and he said he was a dwarf. He just forgot his license. He drove more than 10 kilometers before veering off the road, where he was found by a snowplow driver who alerted the police. The parents were woken up, discovered that their children was missing, and someone had taken off with their car. They were pretty upset. The boy told the snowplow driver that he was a dwarf and he had forgotten his driver's license at home. And it turns out the child wasn't injured and the car wasn't damaged, and they decided not to file charges. So I guess that's a good end, but
Yeah,
wow.
Here's the thing, though. Getting 10 kilometers away with no driving experience at 10 years old, that's pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah.
Wait, is this in Canada?
No, this is in Norway.
Oh, Norway. Fucking... Oh, so I was just going to say, well, Canada, Norway, it's still, like, icy as fuck.
Yes,
That's
it
even
is.
more impressive.
Yeah. Man, imagine having the balls to say, oh yeah, I'm just a dwarf. Did he pass the speech check? No, I don't think he did. I do not think he did. All right.
No, he
The
was a
next
7...
one. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say he had a 70. We needed a 75 for the speech check.
This one is actually a much more serious one. A teacher who's 47 was beaten to death by her cage fighter boyfriend after he discovered her affair with a 15-year-old boy and brutally attacked them both in her home. Jesus. That headline is like a roller coaster. Holy shit.
I don't feel bad for the boyfriend because the boyfriend's clearly got anger issues. If he blew up that badly, discovering your wife's having an affair is horrible, but still. Furthermore, I don't really feel sympathy for her too much because she's a nonce. But the only person I feel really sorry for is the 15-year-old boy, because one, he got beaten the shit out of by a fully grown cage fighter, and also because he got taken advantage of by a nonce.
So, you know what's interesting here is that in Canada, nonce means idiot. It doesn't mean pedophile.
Nonce here means pedo.
Yeah.
That
was the source of a lot of confusion for a long time when I was talking to British people.
What, you're just like, why would you want to kill idiots?
I mean, there's a good reason sometimes. But you know what I mean, though? Like, it was strange to hear.
We're just like, oh no, nonsense are unforgivable. It's just like, you could forgive people for being stupid.
All right, so let's see here. Jealous ex-convict Paul Robson, who was 50, carried out a vicious attack against Caroline Kale, 47, and her teenage lover after he snooped and prowled outside of her home. Well, this is in the UK.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Newcastle Crown Court. This is around where I live.
It says Linton, Northumberland.
Hold on, Linton. Give me a second. I'm gonna switch over. I'm gonna switch over to the live screen for a second. The people won't be able to see the feed, but
Okay.
Linton, Northumberland. Linton, Northumberland. Linton, Northumberland map.
How close is that to you?
That's literally within. Hold on, I'll do the directions on Google Maps. From my exact location, it's about a 30-minute drive.
Oh, geez, that's not far at all.
No, it's about a 30-minute drive. You could probably get to where they are from me on public transport.
Oh, geez. So let's see what happened. Robinson may have stamped and kicked on her, leaving her with unsurvivable brain injuries, chopped off her hair in clumps, cut up her clothes, and slashed her buttocks. Injuries to her eyes and neck bruising indicated she may have been strangled. He also attacked the boy with scissors and a meat cleaver, sprayed them both with ammonia, and stole their phones, later updating her social media pretending to be her while he was on the run. Holy fuck! This guy's crazy.
Yeah, this dude is insane. This makes me even more surprised that she did this, because he's insane.
Yeah.
She must have known he was insane. So why would she cheat? And furthermore, why would she cheat while being a nonce at the same time?
Yeah.
This makes me think that she must have been, like, either she had no regard for her own well-being, or her urges to nonce were that strong that they overrode her self-preservation. Because something tells me for that kind of blow-up, she had to have known he was, like, violent.
Okay, hold on. There's something strange here. Robson and Mrs. Kale, who were separated from her prison officer husband, had lived together in Linton but split up weeks before the murder, and he found out she had started a relationship with the boy. It almost sounds like she didn't cheat on him. She just started fucking the boy after they broke up.
Oh, okay.
Possibly.
Wait,
I don't know what the timeline is. But what the fuck?
She sounds like a real piece of work herself. Again, I'm not condoning what he did.
Yeah. No, I know. I agree.
She cheats on her prison officer boyfriend with him. Then she breaks up with him and starts noncing with a 15-year-old boy. And then he comes in and just goes ham on her. Absolute fucking... What a shit show this entire story is.
Yeah, man. Oh, God. I'm trying to like, this is all stuff that I've already read. I'm trying to find like details of where the kid comes involved. And it's just, nope, she was just fucking a kid. All right. There's no like extra story with him. It's just, she was fucking a child. And he decided to go crazy and kill her. Wow. What a fucking story.
Well, I know she's dead, but surely they should probably give more emphasis on the fact that what she was doing herself was incredibly illegal and immoral.
The article actually doesn't... It mentions the fact that it's an underage boy, but doesn't really play it up. I'm surprised. Like, apparently, because I guess he was just so violent. That's what the entire article is about. Holy shit. Wow.
I just can't help but feel that they're trying to make me sympathize for someone who I really feel no sympathy for at all.
Possibly, yes. All right, let's continue. Okay, here we go. I'm skipping this one. I'm going to use this one for something else. I'm skipping this one. 90 Day Fiancé star. I make $50,000 a week selling my farts in a jar.
I mean, we've all got to make a living somehow.
A reality TV star is making waves on social media after letting it rip that she makes more than $50,000 a week by selling her flatulence to strangers. A video detailing her smelly side hustle currently boasts 6.6 million views. That's the fart of the deal. All right. I thought farts were super niche, but also something fun, quirky, and different, said Stephanie Motto. She first gained international recognition after appearing on the reality TV show 90 Day Fiancé, and she has since started her own YouTube channel. And also, she founded her own OnlyFans clone called Unfiltered. Oh. That's more of a fucking hustle than selling farts in a jar, lady.
Well, that's what I mean. She's like, it sounds like she's a businesswoman, but she's also doing this as a side hustle. First of all, if you have a successful like business already, what the fuck do you need to be doing this for?
To be
This tells
fair,
me this isn't desperation. This is just she's fucking weird.
listen, $50,000 a week though. That's a lot of money.
True, it is. That is true, but freaking can't help but feel that this isn't 100% necessary for her to do.
She eventually turned to selling her jarred farts on a platform because she thought it'd be a hilarious publicity move that would get a lot of people's attention. But then it turns out that the gassy gal, made 550,000 in 1 week from hawking her toots. Her unfiltered inbox is flooded daily with people wanting to purchase jars of her farts, and that people frequently request videos of the production process, from caboose to container. So, you want to buy a video of this chick putting a jar up to her asshole and farting into it, and then quickly canning it so that the smell stays there for when you buy it.
In it's Retivan.
So,
See, I can't even blame her really because she's just responding to incentives. It's the guys who buy the stuff that I really hate.
yeah. Okay.
Retivan.
So, so she eats beans, a protein muffin, a yogurt, hard-boiled eggs, and sometimes a protein shake. And then she fills the mason jar with flower petals because flower petals that are scentless can absorb other scents and make the scents last longer. And then she farts into the jar of flower petals.
I like how she's put thought into this. This isn't just a thing for her. This is a proper business model. She's innovating on fart jars. What the fuck?
Man, okay. I know that we were going on a couple of years ago about gamer girl bathwater or whatever, but this chick takes it to a whole other level.
That's what I mean. She has evolved thottery. She's innovating thottery.
Fucking hell. All right, what's next? Oh, let me just pause this. Tennessee man pulls out an AK-47 after being told to wait 10 minutes for his Little Caesars pizza. Fuck. I guess he fucking wanted his pizza.
That's what I mean. That must have been some really good fucking pizza. Have you had Little Caesars before? I haven't.
I have, and it's actually really shit. It's like the cheapest, most cardboard fucking pizza you can get. Like $8 for a pizza, and it's just garbage.
All right, because my understanding was that like Little Caesars was like my understanding is that Little Caesars did the like what was it called, the hot and ready pizza, where basically
Yes.
they basically just take a pizza that's already been made and give it and like put it in a box and give it to you really cheap.
Yes, that's what they do. Yeah, and it's not very good. It's pretty shitty.
No, I can imagine not. That sounds like something you would buy if you had like 15 minutes on the clock for a lunch break or something.
And that is what I did back, because when I worked the last grocery store job I worked at, there was Little Caesars Pizza in the area, like a 2-minute walk away. So I would do that all the time. It was so fucking bad. Okay, so one man allegedly went too far when he told his Little Caesars pizza was not hot and ready. He pulled an AK-47 on the employees. He points the gun at me, and he says, "Where's my pizza? I want my pizza now." He became upset when he was told that his pizza was not in fact hot and ready, but he would have to wait 10 minutes for the pizza. He left the store, went to his car, and came back with the weapon. So, another customer in the store who had gotten her pizza gave it to him, which was enough to make him leave. The employees then called the police, who tracked him down and arrested him. The employee started screaming, "We are not always hot and ready. Never listen to the commercial. We're not always hot and ready."
I like how that's how where her mind turned to, is the fact that the commercial is misleading and it's not just this guy's a fucking psycho.
Oh fuck!
Like, I'm sorry about our misleading advertising, sir.
All right.
Right, okay. We have had a super chat, so I'm going to address
Okay.
it.
No problem.
Merc for $5. Thank you very much. Fart in jars are the new NFTs.
Oh god. What does this AK-47 dude do when his girlfriend isn't hot and ready? Oh god. All right, here's the next one that I've got. Bay Area car break-ins are on the rise, prompting car owners to leave their trunks open.
Wait, wasn't this the thing that fucking what's his face?
Seth Rogen.
Rogen was saying wasn't an issue?
Yes. So, it turns out that people are just leaving their cars open with nothing in them so that the windows don't get destroyed as people look through them. That's what's going on now.
Yeah, basically people are just saying, look, I have fuck all to give you, so just leave me alone.
Yep.
Like, and I like how Seth Rogen is so disconnected from anything outside of California. At this point, he says, "Oh yeah, the last 10 years, my car's been broken into 15 times. That's totally normal." Like,
Yep.
no,
Yep.
no, it's not. It's not normal in the slightest.
Yeah, maybe it's like a Canadian thing, but like even in our big cities, there's not that much like thefts or car break-ins.
Oh no, like London is the crime capital of the UK, like with it being its capital city and also because it's really poorly run. But it's like, and like we have rising gang warfare and rising knife crime and all that stuff. Your car will be fine.
So, this person says, imagine having to clean out your car and leave it open in the public just so people won't break the windows on it. Oakland, we are looking sad, man. Yeah. And however, the police say you shouldn't do it because they could steal your batteries, they can steal your tires, they can go into your glove department and find your insurance. You know, so like you still shouldn't do this, but like no one's stopping these robbers. So you can't like fuck. Just leave California, guys. Just get the fuck out of California. I keep telling Lilith to move. Like,
But I know, but she keeps saying she's comfortable there, doesn't she?
well, no, what happened is she inherited a house.
Oh, I see.
So, like, at the very least, she has to find a buyer for that if she was going to move and then move to a decent place. And also, despite all of California's problems, the other areas of the states aren't exactly as trans-friendly. And it's like, okay, yeah, fair enough, I get it. I understand. She just moved to Canada. Fuck. We don't like even more conservative areas here. They're very much like we'll just leave you alone if you're not doing anything wrong. We don't care if you're trans, kind of thing. That's how things are here.
It's pretty much the same in the UK. It's just fucking as long as you don't like, yeah, we're a bit grumpy, but just like as long as you mind your own business, no one's gonna give you trouble.
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna continue on. I'm sorry I called the Grinch anime. Please stop threatening my family. Dear vindictive Japanese cartoon watchers, you know me as the sack of shit who referred to the Grinch as anime in a now viral blog post. While I have come to regret this post deeply, both personally and professionally, for the sake of my family, I must humbly request that you cease your highly coordinated retaliation, which has already escalated to an alarming degree.
Fucking hell, man. First of all, you are wrong. While you are wrong that the Grinch is not an anime, it's a cartoon, and I will die on that hill. Even though anime is literally just short for animation, so...
The blowback began almost immediately with internet user Yu Yu Hakusho Queer, who came out of the box strong with, "You pinhead fuck, the Grinch is not anime. I'll ensure you and your family wake up every day in harm's way." Minutes later, another user, Ms. Hente Shawty, posted a Google 360 view of my mother's apartment with the caption, "His mom's crib, do ya thang." The threatening remarks piled on, with a few users taking it to the extreme by posting photos of baby carrots and claiming, "These are the author's penis. Those were not my penis."
No shit.
From slanderous to dangerous, no heinous comments were off limits from anime fans. It's the intimidation of my family members that have crossed moral bounds. The threats via email and snail mail. The bodily fluids on their porches. The multiple incidents of dumping hot hookah coals into my mother's shoes. It has all been shamefully too far, and for what it's worth, this is the sort of holiday destruction the Grinch would have wanted. I sincerely apologize for calling How the Grinch Stole Christmas anime, and for calling the Grinch one of the best guys in anime. This is not the half-hearted apology of a man fearing for the life of his family and the well-being of his mother. This is such a stupid article.
No, it's literally just a case of it's like this reads like an absurdist post. Like fucking. Why are people sending death threats to this guy because he called the Grinch anime? Like,
thing
even
is,
calling the Grinch anime sounds like a shitpost.
I have a feeling. Okay, yeah. You know what this is? He did call the Grinch an anime, and he did get a blowback from it. But this is him making fun of the blowback. That's what this is.
That sounds more plausible to me.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Hard Times is not a satire site in the same way as the Babylon Bee, but it does do these kind of jokey posts. Yeah.
I would certainly hope so.
All right.
Because otherwise, anime fans, you're different from when I was at my peak of anime fandom, but you need to calm the fuck down.
Okay, there's like 4 articles left, but we're running out of time, so I'm going to do the last one. I'm going to do the one that I intended to end the show on. Because this is fucking hilarious. Check this out. Somehow, Adolf Hitler has received a COVID vaccine passport in the EU.
I told you it was the Fourth Reich.
The private key used to sign the EU's digital COVID certificates appears to have leaked, leading to forged certificates for people, even dead ones like Hitler. The former supreme leader of 1940s Germany would appear to be alive and well if the EU's digital vaccination program is to be believed. Actually, he's doing better than well. He's been vaccinated for COVID-19.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, no, Hitler is still dead. Don't worry. Yeah, nobody's out there, making clones of Hitler and like raising them up in cryogenic stasis in Argentina or something. All right, no one's actually doing that.
It's not some really cringy action movie where he takes off his glasses and goes, "My God, he's back."
It would appear that someone has gotten their hands on the private cryptographic key used to certify digital COVID-19 vaccination cards in certain European countries and has been forging bullshit certificates for real people. Cybercriminals in the dark web were recently spotted selling access to what they claimed were forged digital vaccination certificates for $300 a pop. When asked by journalists what they were doing, one criminal provided them with a working vaccine certificate for Adolf Hitler. In addition to the former dictator, approved vaccine passports for Mickey Mouse and SpongeBob SquarePants were also being hawked.
Well, you have to imagine that he doesn't want to get isolated in Mickey Mouse's clubhouse, and
yes,
Bikini Bottom's been on lockdown for the past 6 months, so he wants to get outside. He wants to breathe some fresh air again.
The fake but approved certificates were recently viewed, and they were able to verify that Hitler's was still working as of Thursday. The fake certificates appear to be sourced from some kind of compromise of the EU's digital vaccination certificate program, which is Europe's recently instituted effort to ensure that all citizens are vaxxed before they can travel or attend most recreational events. Also called the Green Pass, the certificate can be obtained through a variety of methods, either via health agencies or testing centers following vaccination, and is pretty much a requirement if you want to see a movie, eat at a restaurant, or do anything that involves fun. According to the European Commission, the pass contains a QR code with a digital signature. However, it would appear that the private key responsible for validating those certificates has been leaked or misused. Because now they're just making a bunch of joke certificates. That's fucking great. Man. Actually, yeah, someone in the chat pointed out Adolf Hitler literally won an election in Nambia last year. I did that article too. There was a guy who was it was a former German colony, and they didn't really know much about World War II. So people there were just naming their kids after like their grandparents or whatever, and they sometimes had German names. So one kid grows up with the name Adolf Hitler, not knowing what it means, and he wins an election in Nambia, and then he has to like tell the world, I know I don't intend to take over the entire world. I'm sorry.
Fucking.
So
You sometimes forget that fucking how big the world is, don't you?
yes, yes.
Bullshit can happen.
So it seems like someone got a hold of how you make these certificates and has just been making fake ones like crazy, including one for Adolf Hitler.
I like how he hasn't just been making fake ones for other people. He's just been making shitpost ones as well.
To be fair, he's probably doing both. Like, he's just doing the other ones like silently. That's happening here. There are doctors who don't agree with the vaccine passports, even though they're like pro-vax, and they will just give you an exemption now because like fuck it, we got to stop this. So there are some doctors who are just like silently handing out exemptions.
Yeah.
And there's like a lot of places here that aren't accepting them either. You know, they're not when places like, okay, hold on. When you like now you have to have your phone scanned to go into a restaurant, but there are some restaurants here that are just like, we're not going to bother that shit. That's fucking bullshit. We're not going to scan. It's like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's how it should be. No one should be listening to this anymore. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, that's the articles. I have like 5 more, but we've run out of time. So I will do those next week. It's not a big deal. Let me just. Okay.
Yeah, I've switched. Yeah, I have switched us back to the live screen, so it's literally just the picture of Shinji with the coffee.
Shinji.
Shinji with a coffee. Yeah.
Why Shinji though?
Because it was the weekly sip, and it was the first thing that came to mind that was both anime and was coffee related.
Awesome.
Plus, it was a. The thing about Shinji is that he looks vaguely like me if I was thin and scrawny, and also the fact that he also like it's that in that picture he just looks mildly unimpressed.
So wait, are you saying that you would jack off over an unconscious woman's body?
No, I would not do that.
You wouldn't do the ultimate Shinji move?
I'm so fucked up.
Actually,
anyway,
okay, that got back when that movie first came out in like 2005 or whatever it was. That movie got put on Canada's official list of banned movies because of child porn in it. Because it showed Asuka's tits.
Oh God.
Canada is terrible when it comes to animated CP like stuff. Okay, if you own a copy of that movie in Canada, like a legit copy that you bought, you can go to jail for the same length of time as a child molester. Yeah.
That's fucked.
And here's the thing: nobody wants to tackle the problem because who wants to be the guy that like takes on that bad optics, you know? Of, oh, you're the one who wants to make drawn child porn legal. It's like, Jesus. You know, like even everyone knows that it's stupid, it's too far, but no one wants to be the person who has that on their legacy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Right. We do have Jackson for $5. Thank you very much. Trans acceptance is so far in Canada that my very conservative parents over 10 years ago were willing to accept I was trans just because I cross-dressed on a dare once.
That sounds about right. Like lots of Canadians are just like, I don't care what you do in private, just as long as you're not like being fucking ridiculous like a lot of people are. As long as you're just like being a regular person, you can do whatever weird shit you want. And it's like, okay, cool. You know, that's how it should be.
Yeah, that sounds violently Canadian.
Like
Just
nobody likes pride parades. Nobody likes big demonstrations. Nobody likes violent demonstrations. But if you're just like if you're gay or if you're trans and you're just hanging out and being a regular person, nobody here gives a shit.
it's like, yeah, it's pretty much the same in the UK. You will get some areas where like the odd individual will be a dick about it, but for the most part, it's just people just like, all right, fair enough. Like, let's take like I'm sure if you've kept up with Count Dankula, like Count Dankula's Twitter, you'll have seen a regular poster on there called Femboy Blacksmith.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes to college dressed like in girls' clothes, and no one cares.
Yep.
Like no one gives a shit.
And as
And
far
here's
as I
the
can
thing.
remember, it's been like that since the 90s. Like, maybe not earlier. Like, in the 80s had some legit homophobia floating around in there. But then, when the 90s came around, it was like, who cares anymore? People
Well,
were just,
it's
like, private, you know?
well, put it this way: from in the 1960s, I think it was a case of like 2/3 of people found homosexuality to be, like horrible. And then by 97, I think it was. This is a statistics I saw years ago, so I might be getting the exact date wrong. I think it was something like only 10% of people found homosexuality to be wrong.
Yep. Yep. Honestly, like,
And
a lot of those social problems have been solved at this point. People are just getting crazy online over fucking nothing.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's about the end for me, though. Who do you have on
Yeah.
next?
Single player Carl and Chaza Kitsune.
I'm supposed to go on their podcast at some point. That's right.
Yeah, it's a good podcast. It's a good laugh. I'm an editor for Single Player Carl, so like not only is it a good laugh, they're also very interesting to talk to. So I'd highly recommend it.
Right, right. Does
Right.
does Chaos Charza still work for It's a Gundam?
Um,
I know he was like his either editor or something along those lines for a while.
well, he did rig the Gundam 3D model for him.
Yes.
I'm not sure if he was ever like an editor or something. He's not Stu. That's a misconception. People thought he was Stu. He's not. That's a misconception. But I do know that he did rig his 3D model for him.
Oh, who's Stu then?
Stu's just a character. He's made up.
Yeah, see, I think that's why last time I talked to Gundam, he said that Charza was Stu in spirit.
Yeah,
I was like, okay.
Because basically, what happened was is that people started assuming that, and he said, and it kind of Charles started going along with it for a laugh, just started going along with it, just to just for a laugh. But it got so prevalent that Gundam kind of pulled him aside and said, "Yeah, we're gonna have to stop doing that now because people actually believe it's true."
Oh well.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Dave, on my side of things, Dave is a real person. I mean, kinda. He's half alive.
He's in a constant state of potential undeath, but
Yes.
but he is technically in a legal sense alive.
Yes. Yes, that is the case.
Jackson for another $5. I feel I should clarify this was in Alberta as well. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, Alberta is like Canada's Texas. Lots of oil, lots of conservatives, lots of people who want to leave Canada. It's basically the same thing culturally as Texas is. And even then, they're still very live and let live there, you know?
Yeah.
All right, I should probably go then because it is 12:59 and my time's up at 1. So,
Yeah. Right.
I will see you later, man.
Right, I'll catch you about. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, no problem. See you later, chat.
Thanks for coming on. Bye-bye.
And there we go. That's that. Definitely a very different weekly sip, but hey, it's always good to try something new. I will see you guys later. I got a stream tonight. More Yakuza. I know usually Adam and Sitch stream, but fuck it. I gotta catch up on my Yakuza playthrough on the gaming channel. So drop by the Twitch channel tonight, or on the gaming YouTube, one or the other, and hopefully I'll have a new video for you tomorrow. Catch you next time, guys. I love you.